10 seconds until trans-lunar injection burn start.
Integrity, good engine, good control.
We show the same. Feels great up here.
At MET, mission elapsed time of 1 day, 1 hour, and 14 minutes into the Artemis II mission. As Orion was flying 115 statute miles above Earth and 247,600 miles away from the moon, we have the start of the trans-lunar injection burn that will send the crew around the moon, the first humans to do so in over 50 years. Again, this will be a 5-minute and 50-second burn on the Orbital Maneuvering Service Engine, part of the European Service Module. Continuing to hear good calls here from Prop in Artemis Mission Control in Houston, Texas.
Integrity, looking good.
Integrity copies.
Velocity of the spacecraft ticking up, now over 23,900 miles per hour. Two minutes into this 5-minute and 50-second burn. Continuing to get good calls here in Mission Control Houston from all flight controllers.
Integrity, we copy the enabled caution, no crew action.
Okay, integrity copies.
The crew did receive a caution on their screen and have no action at this time. We continue to burn the trans-lunar injection burn.
Integrity, similar caution, no crew action.
Integrity copies.
Over 3 minutes now into the trans-lunar injection burn. These live views coming from Orion as it looks back on Earth, leaving high Earth orbit and beginning its journey to the moon. We are now 230 miles above Earth, 246,500 miles away from the moon. Again, this burn started on time, MET, mission elapsed time 1 day, 1 hour, and 14 minutes. We are targeting a 5-minute and 50-second burn. We've just hit the 4-minute mark into the burn. Quiet here in Mission Control Houston as flight controllers continue monitoring all systems. Everything looking good. We have 1 minute left in the trans-lunar injection burn. Everything continuing to look good. Again, these live views coming to you from Orion as it looks back on Earth and begins its journey to the moon. And this, a live look inside Mission Control Houston. Flight Director Jeff Radigan monitoring all of the Orbit 1 teams. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman has also joined us in the room to monitor the trans-lunar injection burn. We have less than 20 seconds left of this burn. This is the final major burn for the mission, because this also serves as our deorbit burn.
Integrity looks like a good burn. We're confirming.
Integrity copies.
Confirmation from teams here on the ground to the Artemis II crew aboard Orion. We have trans-lunar injection burn cutoff and early reports that it was a very good burn. Orion now 520 miles away from Earth. Just 5 minutes ago, we were only 115 miles above Earth's surface. That distance will continue to increase as we are now on a trajectory to fly around the moon for the first time in over 50 years. Live views from the Orion spacecraft as it looks back on Earth following completion of the trans-lunar injection burn. The burn that commits us to flying around the moon. It also commits us to a return to our home planet. But for now, these views of Earth as Orion starts its journey. This is Artemis Mission Control. 1 day, 1 hour, and 24 minutes since liftoff of Artemis II. We have just completed the trans-lunar injection burn. Preliminary reports of a good burn. Again, this commits us to flying by the moon and coming back home on flight day 10. We're approaching 1,000 miles away from Earth. Just 10 minutes ago, we were 115 miles above Earth's surface. Since launch, Orion has been in a high Earth orbit. This allowed the teams to check all systems aboard the spacecraft and gain that confidence that for this first flight of humans aboard Orion, we were go for trans-lunar injection and a flight to the moon. That go that came this morning from the mission management team and later this afternoon from the flight control team in Houston. Crew reported that they were go as well, and now we are going. Teams in Mission Control Houston continuing to provide good reports on all systems aboard Orion.
And Houston Integrity, we just wanted to share a little bit of the sentiment up here as we came around the planet, and we're zooming over just 100 nautical miles above it if you got a moment.
Please, Jeremy, we are all ears.
Well, with that successful TLI, the crew's feeling pretty good up here on our way to the moon, and we just wanted to communicate to everyone around the planet who's worked to make Artemis possible that we firmly felt the power of your perseverance during every second of that burn. Humanity has once again shown what we are capable of, and it's your hopes for the future that carry us now on this journey around the moon.
Thank you for those words.
Poignant words coming down from Canadian Space Agency astronaut and mission specialist on Artemis II, Jeremy Hansen. It's his first time to space, and it's the first flight of a Canadian to the moon. Hugs there at the Capcom console from NASA astronaut and Capcom, or capsule communicator, Chris Birch, with Artemis II backup and Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jenny Gibbons. We're now over 1,000.
Integrity, 2 minutes until a TDRS West to TDRS East handover.
Integrity copies.
Now over 1,500 miles away from our planet, that distance continuing to increase. You can keep track of Orion's distance from the Earth and to the Moon at any time by visiting nasa.gov/track-Artemis. We are currently 242,800 miles away from the Moon and continuing to get closer. We will do so until flight day 6 when we make our closest approach during the lunar flyby. This view coming from Artemis Mission Control in Houston, Texas, where the Orbit 1 flight control team is on console. Team members continue monitoring the flight of Orion and the systems aboard the spacecraft. Coming up on 1 day, 1 hour, and 30 minutes since the launch of Orion.
Houston, integrity, our HC stow is complete.
We recently heard a call that the
Integrity, we copied. RHC stow is complete on Tidris East.
Great, comm check. Houston, integrity, we have lost DU2. It appears it may be power cycling with a DAC message of DU2 comm fail.
Integrity, we copy. We saw that enunciated caution, toggle in and out of alarm. Your go to try and power it up.
And Houston, it was in a power cycle after going down, and it has come back up. We are going to go ahead and understand the prop cautions are no action. They are recurring and going away a few seconds later. We'll stand by for any other troubleshooting words on DU2, but so far it looks like it's nominal.
Thanks, Christina. Good news on DU2. No further actions for you on DU2 reconfig. We'll do any other backside stuff on the ground, and we are taking a look at that prop caution as well.
Copy all, and copy also the good comm check on Tidris.
Yes, Christina, good comm check on Tidris East. And to let you know, we are complete with our post-burn reconfig.
Copy all.
A few different communications with the crew there coming from Capcom Chris Birch. We heard the crew report that they were having an issue with their DU. That's the display unit. There are 3 display units inside Orion. It sounds like one of those is rebooting and powering back up. There were also some propulsion cautions that are being cleared. Additionally, we are still on the Tracking and Data Relay Satellite System, or TDRS, and have handed over to TDRS East, confirming that we had a good voice check on TDRS. We won't be on TDRS for long. We will be switching back to the Deep Space Network as we continue to increase our distance from Earth, now 2,780 miles away from our home planet. Over 3,000 miles away from Earth now.
Integrity, we are maneuvering to the Earth viewing attitude.
Copy and thank you.
Orion is now being maneuvered into an attitude to allow the crew to be able to see the Earth as they depart it. Again, we are rapidly leaving our home planet and growing closer to the moon, now 240,300 miles away from our lunar neighbor. In about 5 minutes, we will transition from the tracking data relay satellite system as our primary method to communicate with the crew over to the Deep Space Network. They'll remain on the Deep Space Network all the way around the moon and until they return to Earth.
Integrity, we have completed the cleanup steps from our leak suspected warning that has cleared the board. We've reset FITR, and so now we'll be able to detect any changes per our nominal config.
That's great news, Houston. Thank you.
Capcom capsule communicator NASA astronaut Chris Birch calling up to the crew aboard Orion, also known as Integrity. There was a leak warning that popped up just before we got into trans-lunar injection burn. However, it was quickly determined that this was due to the air recirculation system being transitioned into a different state. All teams remained go for a trans-lunar injection as we continued to get good readings inside the cabin, and that warning has since been cleared.
Integrity, 2 minutes to TDRS East to DSN handover.
See you on the other side.
Standing by for TDRS to Deep Space Network handover. We're now handing over to the Deep Space Network and expect to hear some comm checks once the crew is on the other side.
Integrity, Houston, comm check on OE1 on DSN Madrid.
We have you loud and clear.
Copy, we have you the same.
And we are getting just a beautiful view of the dark side of the Earth right now, lit by the moon. Phenomenal.
That sounds amazing. We hope you're taking some pictures for us.
Yeah, none of us can get to lunch because we're glued to the window. We're taking pictures. Reed said he just can't take it anymore.
That tracks. Thanks, Integrity.
We have good communication checks on the Deep Space Network with the crew aboard Orion. Commander Reed Wiseman, Pilot Victor Glover, Mission Specialist Christina Cook, and Mission Specialist Jeremy Hansen, having recently completed the Trans-lunar injection burn, are now on their way to the moon. The Orion spacecraft was oriented so that they would be able to see out the windows as they departed Earth. We are now 4,687 miles away from our home planet, a number that's continuing to grow and will do so until we fly by the moon on Flight Day 6. The crew reports beautiful views of Earth as they fly by the dark side, as referred to by Mission Specialist Jeremy Hansen. They are taking photos that we will expect to see downlinked later on and look forward to sharing. 30 minutes since the start of the trans-lunar injection burn. Again, that was a 5 minute and 50 second burn using the orbital maneuvering service engine on the European service module. This was the burn that committed us to flying by the moon and returning home to Earth on flight day 10. We are now over 5,430 miles away from Earth. At the time of the burn, we were just 115 miles above our home planet. We're 237,000 miles from the moon. This view inside Mission Control Houston as teams continued to monitor the systems aboard Orion, everything looking great after that trans-lunar injection burn. Orion is also back on the Deep Space Network, which allows us to communicate with the crew as they travel farther away from our home planet. The crew is also in their timelined midday meal, but as we heard from mission specialist Jeremy Hansen, they are all glued to the windows, getting some views of Earth as they depart. This view of visualization of Orion, you can access this at any time by visiting nasa.gov/track Artemis. This is called ARROW, the Artemis Real-Time Orbit website. This is live throughout the mission and allows you to see just how far we are from Earth and close we are to the moon. It's now been 1 day, 1 hour and 50 minutes since liftoff of the Artemis II mission. This is Artemis Mission Control here at Johnson Space Center in Houston. We are on our way to the moon after a successful trans-lunar injection burn. We are expecting a news conference this evening to discuss the status of the mission at this point, the trans-lunar injection burn itself. That's slated to begin at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It may get a bit of a delayed start.
Integrity, for your information, the PCL pointer is set to slot 2 for post-TLI.
Okay, copy. Slot 2, on our way.
Again, as I was mentioning, we are expecting the news conference to start momentarily. If you're watching on YouTube, that news conference will air on this channel and you don't need to go anywhere. We will have that available as soon as it begins. In the meantime, Orion continues to increase its distance from Earth, now approaching 7,000 miles away from the planet. We've also gotten much closer to the moon. Just about 15 minutes ago, we were 240,000 miles away from our lunar neighbor, and now we are approaching 235,000 miles away. This is Artemis Mission Control. We are standing by for the beginning of today's press conference about the status of the mission and the trans-lunar injection burn. Completed that 5-minute and 50 burn. Right on time and put us in the proper position to fly by the moon on flight day 6 and return to Earth on flight day 10. This is Artemis Mission Control at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. Again, we had a successful trans-lunar injection burn that commits us to flying around the moon and coming home. Our crew of 4 aboard Orion in their midday meal. And here on Earth, we are standing by for the start of our news conference about the status of the mission. If you're watching on NASA's YouTube, you don't need to go anywhere. We're going to bring that to you right here, and we'll be here in Artemis Mission Control.
The Artemis II mission is a test mission of the Orion space capsule.
Artemis II will be the first time we put humans on this rocket.
We're going back to the moon because it's the next step in our journey to Mars.
We were always going to the moon.
Pushing ourselves to explore is just core to who we are. That's a part of being a human.
And liftoff. We shall return.
Continuing to test out every bit of Orion.
Coming back to Earth, 7 miles a second.
When humanity sets big goals, we can bring together genius from around the world.
You have the best people on planet Earth putting this vehicle together. That's what's up.
To innovate for the benefit of humanity and to inspire the world through discovery.
And here we go.